Hello and good day to you all. My name is Tafadzwa Chiganga and I'm representing Muzambiringa's business proposal. I'm just going to give you a brief about what I think is a key problem and what I foresee as the potential solutions that Muzambiringa can bring. African countries have just been regaining their independence in the last century, which means over the last century we have spent most of our time working and serving loyally to another party who is the owner of the business. This has in a big way taken away from us our entrepreneurial culture. I believe before colonization our culture did have entrepreneurial characteristics and skills, but these have been suffocated by colonialism. As a result, we find that in Africa, the startup of businesses and the success stories of small to medium enterprises remains low, apparently because most of them live to just see another day as small to medium enterprises. There's no real growth, there's no real sustainability, there's no real expansion. Now, this is very different to our fellow partners in the developed world. You find that in most instances, parents have a legacy they leave to their children because they have been in the business for years and years. And as a legacy, part of the legacy is the child grows up in the family where they're studying and understanding the business, partaking in the transactions, and at some point taking over the business or otherwise going out to start on their own business initiative. As a result, most of them have an entrepreneurial mind and spirit and skill, which most of us do not possess back home, a privilege that doesn't exist back home here in Africa. I'll give an example of what is currently happening in my country, Zimbabwe, where over 95% of people are not employed, but the majority of these people have at least one degree. The degree gives them the scope and understanding of what they need to do, but only as an employee and not as an employer. And there's a gap that's still standing right now, that's still there between being an employee and an employer. And this is the very gap that Muzambiringa is trying to fill. Now let's imagine this case study where we have numerous small to medium enterprises or subsistent farmers who are supporting so many of the economies in Africa. These farmers are only able to farm as much as they need for food and a little bit more to be able to provide for school fees once they sell off the excess. However, these farmers, I believe, if they are equipped with the right business acumen, the right access to capital, operational support, access to markets and networking, can actually grow and develop beyond the small to medium enterprises they can be considered to be right now. This is where Muzambiringa comes in. Muzambiringa is trying to set up its own legacy of training people in business and helping them understand what kind of changes they need to make in their day-to-day to be able to not only sustain their business, but grow it profitably, employ communities, and be the kind of change that we desperately want to see in Africa. I believe that we can let it work itself out with time, and as a result, spend another century building legacies for our children, or we can do it the Muzambiringa way. Build our own legacy. Train small to medium entrepreneurs on how to do business properly, how to be the right kind of leaders, how to manage their finances, how to operate their businesses sustainably, where to get access to markets, and better still, the advantages of networking, especially in this global economy. I believe that Muzambiringa is able to achieve this, and I believe that we can see the kind of growth and development that has been lacking in Africa if we're able to achieve this. Part of the truth of the matter is a lot of organizations have already identified that small to medium enterprises are the key, and as such are providing some kind of support. It could be access to capital, it could be business training, it could be access to markets, it could be operation support, but none of them are offering it in one deal. This is where Muzambiringa is different. We are trying to provide all of this package in just one go. I believe we are able to do it, and I'm excited to see how fast we're going to be able to scale this. Thank you.